Paul had to contend with those who thought they could justify themselves by circumcision and keeping the law. And in verses such as Galatians 2, verse 16, he absolutely destroyed their line of thinking. We are justified by faith, not by keeping the law. Now, why were some Jews so overzealous for the law? Their motives were good. They knew read Nehemiah 13, verses 15 through 18. They knew that they had gone into captivity because of Sabbath breaking and other violations, so they tried to be overly zealous to make sure it didn't happen again. But they weren't acting on faith. They were trying to do it by their own works. But their motives weren't bad at first. They wanted to keep God's law so as not to sin, but it wasn't mixed with faith. But Paul absolutely obliterated legalism, and it was never a problem after that. Indeed, 2 Peter 3, verse 16, the Holy Spirit inspired Peter to write about those who would pervert Paul. They would pervert Paul so that they could promote their own lawlessness. The very next verse, he says to be on guard so you're not led away by the error of the lawless. Jesus said in Matthew 24, verse 12, in the end time, because lawlessness shall abound, the love of many will grow cold. 2 Thessalonians 2, verse 7, the mystery of lawlessness is already at work. Go down to verse 8. And then the lawless one will be revealed, whom the Lord will consume with the breath of his mouth and destroy with the brightness of his coming. The coming of the lawless one is according to the working of Satan, with all power, signs, and lying wonders, and with all unrighteous deception among those who perish because they did not receive the love of the truth, that they might be saved. Many of you claim to follow Paul. Paul warned about the mystery of legalism. No, he didn't. The mystery of lawlessness is what he warned about. That's the same Paul that said circumcision is nothing and uncircumcision is nothing, but keeping the commandments of God is what matters. 1 Corinthians 7, verse 19. So the Holy Spirit clearly knew that in the end time, not legalism, but lawlessness would be the problem. The warnings couldn't be clearer. Go read 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 on your own and believe what it says. For those of you keeping God's Sabbath, have a blessed, joyous Sabbath. Peace all. Bye-bye.